Right, let's bring you that question of the day now as we ask you to engage us. And this morning we are asking you, just waiting for that question to pop up there for us, because we wanted to know about how exactly this pandemic is affecting you as of right now. As we said, it's becoming very real now, Leanne. People are kind of feeling that they know people now, they've seen people now who've had it, and it is hitting close to home.
Yeah, it really is, and we'll get into that question of the day in a short while and just ask you what I suppose you're feeling at this time. And you can write to us about anything if you like, just to try and give us an idea of where you're at this point in time. 1st of July, brand new month. Day, 97 of the lockdown. Yeah. We're on level 3. I know lots of things are opening up, but it's just at the same time the fear of getting infected now and not sort of being cushioned by the protection of staying home. Now you need to go out and unfortunately be vulnerable to catching coronavirus. So yeah, anyway, these are things we'll be talking about. But right now, let's have a look and see at some of the stories of the day that'll be covered by our news team. As you heard in the news, the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa will today resume commuter train services after they were stopped due to the national lockdown in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also remember that they will only be allowing 15%, that's 15% of the passengers they normally allow onto a train.
Prasa CEO will be here on the show with us, Leanne, and we'll speak more about that. Now, meanwhile, the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture is expected to hear evidence relating to Prasa when it resumes in Johannesburg this morning.
Figures released here by the Health Ministry last night related to COVID-19. We've now got 151,209 cumulative cases in the country. The number of deaths, the highest reported for a day in South Africa, I think it was 128 yesterday. It's now at 2,657. That's a total of 73,543 people have since recovered, and the total infected active cases currently in South Africa, 75,009.
And then, of course, all important numbers should you need help. The hotline, it's a 24-hour hotline. That number is 0800 029 999, or you can use the WhatsApp service, and that number is 0600 123 456.
All right, your provincial breakdowns now. Let's take a look and see. The Western Cape, you've got an increase of 1,106 infections. Gauteng, 3,040 infections. Eastern Cape, 1,491. KwaZulu-Natal, 633. The Northwest, 61. Limpopo, 120. Mpumalanga, 101. The Free State, 137. And the Northern Cape, 61. According to the latest numbers we have, the death toll in the respective provinces, 1,859 recorded in the Western Cape, Gauteng 216, 422 in the Eastern Cape, 126 in KwaZulu-Natal, in the Northwest 7 deaths, Limpopo 10, Mpumalanga 7, the Free State 9, and the Northern Cape 1. And then, of course, you've got the recoveries that are sitting on the furthest column, and the recoveries 43,120, the most recorded in the Western Cape. And then you can have a look and see what the recoveries are looking like in the rest of the provinces.
Right, let's take a look at those cumulative numbers now, and we've now surpassed 1.6 million, 8 over that at the moment, and then confirmed cases right now, Leanne, 151,209. The recoveries are at 73,543. We also have 2,657 deaths in South Africa as a result of COVID-19. The number of active cases, 75,009, and of course 6,945 are the new cases reported.
All right, let's quickly look at your global picture. And the global picture now, we're sitting with the infection rate of 10.434 million total cases that have been reported so far of COVID-19. That's up 178 1,000 cases since we reported to you yesterday. The death toll is sitting at 510,000, and that's an increase of 4,153. And just so that you know, the recovery rate is sitting at 5.3 million. So, that's how the recovery is looking. In America, the latest figures, infections up 36,390. They're sitting at 2.68 million, so still having the most infections. And the death toll up 338 yesterday. They're now at 129,000 deaths. That's the figure they're at. Brazil, 1.4 million infections, and the death toll there, 59,656. Don't have the latest figures. They haven't as yet been loaded up. So I think these are the same as yesterday that we brought to you. But this is the picture. India also reporting a big rise there. 18,522 new infections with 418 deaths, and Russia as well. 6,693 new infections there at 648,000. So it's a grim picture, but it's getting bigger. We're expecting this. And one thing that we can tell you, however, is that in Europe, Sakina, they've opened their borders for travel now. As of today, the 1st of July, you can travel within the European Union. Some countries, however, they're still saying absolutely not. You're not allowed to come through. But they've opened it up to restrictions of 14 other countries are allowed to come. I won't go through that list, but the list of people that are not allowed to come, the United States, Britain, Russia and Turkey, they are still not allowed to travel in the European Union.
Yeah, and as you say, a very interesting picture developing there as many more nations decide to open up. But if you look at England, for example, I see Leicester, they've been singled out and new restrictions put in place because of them becoming a type of a hot spot there at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on all of those as well, Leanne.
Let's talk to the trending topics now. So we've got level 5, and that's what a lot of South Africans are calling for. I mean, it's just been a roller coaster ride, because I know that, when we were in level 5, everybody was screaming for the country to be opened. We need to go back to work, the jobs, we need to make money. But now that the reality is starting to hit home for all of us, people are now shouting for level 5. And I think that this, of course, spurred on by the EFF bringing out a press release yesterday, calling for this exact move from level 3, where there are a lot of loosened restrictions. We even saw something coming out yesterday where they were saying that museums, libraries, theatres, cinemas, they have now got the official go-ahead to open up. Restaurants were open from Monday. You could sit down at restaurants. Casinos are open. So, and there's now been a call with these numbers to say, come on guys, level 5, let's go back up there. Not sure how you feel about that.
Interesting one, Leanne. Moving on to hashtag Motsepe, and this is not Patrice that's trending. In fact, it's his sister, Bridget Motsepe Hadebe. And it all has to do with the Botswana government, of course, hiring the services of Harry Nell from AfriForum. And I know some of the reports have been saying it is to actually pursue legal action because Bridget has been accused of trying to aid and abet a coup plot in Botswana before their last election. But Harry Nell actually, and I spoke to him earlier on in the week, said that the request, the reason why they've been brought on board and he's working on this is to basically get the South African government to comply with the request from the Botswana government for mutual legal assistance. And he was explaining that essentially this is something that is not new, it happens, but for some reason the South African government is seemingly not willing or prepared for whatever reason to grant this request by the government of Botswana, because they said they actually put this request to the South African government last year around November, but they've not heard back. So Harry Nell will be pursuing that one, Leanne.
All right, we'll keep that one on the radar as well for you. And then finally, on a happy note, Messi. So we're not going to be talking about anything too It's sad. We talk about happy stuff here. Messi playing for Barcelona last night, scoring an incredible goal again, and I think that this has sort of set him into the record books again, this unbelievable player. Messi has now scored 630 goals for Barcelona, 70 for Argentina, which means he's closing in, or he has hit that milestone of scoring 700 goals. But apparently the biggest goal landmark is still with Pele, and Pele has 643 goals for a single club. So he needs 14 more goals to go past Pele's record. So 700 goals for Messi. Congratulations to him.
The big one, that 700 milestone, and getting it via penalty, a Panenka. And Ronaldo, incidentally, when he hit his 700th goal as well, was also via penalty. So, you know, you can't say Messi without Ronaldo, because the Ronaldo fans come out of the woodwork. So that rivalry continues. But yeah, great milestone for Lionel Messi.
It is indeed. All right, let's take a break. When we return, I'll bring you some news headlines, and then we'll go over to Valen for the sports news. Stay tuned.